Alright, so I actually decided to just re-record my tech video. So I thought I'd do a tech video, give you some updates about what's going on. I'll do a bunch of Apple stuff, get it out of the way. Apple has released OS X Lion. Um, if you have problems with Lion, Google what your problem is, because there's probably a workaround. I didn't like the look of the new iCal. There's a way to fix that. I didn't like the look of Address Book. There's a way to fix that. There's literally a program that's come out. It's called like Lion Tweaks that you can download and install, and you can turn off a bunch of the new Lion shit, which is nice because a bunch of it's just crap. I need to see if there's a tweak to turn off the QuickTime animations, like when you go full screen or when you bring in a dashboard, switch over to the dashboard and stuff. I've got a quad-core MacBook Pro, so I've got a pretty good machine, kind of top of the line, and like the full screen QuickTime almost brings my computer to its knees. It's scraggly. It's not very Apple-like. I think it's either inefficient code or I don't know, but it fails. Whatever it is, it fails. It doesn't look good. It's not like the Genie, minimize where it looks awesome. It looks bad. There are also ways to put Lion on a bootable disk, whether it's a DVD or a hard drive or a flash drive. So Google what your problem is with Lion. I didn't like that. You download Lion and it's really an upgrade. It's not like a DVD where you can do a fresh install, but you can burn it to a DVD or a hard drive and do a fresh install, which I recommend. Also, as a general note for people who have Macs who don't really fiddle with them, hit Command in the spacebar, type in disk utility, open that, and run repair permissions on your hard drive. People that aren't techie don't know to do this. Repairing the permissions helps you, basically helps make sure it's like it's not disk defragmentation. Consider it like disk repair, but there's actually a disk repair option in there. Basically, it just makes sure your permissions files are copacetic, and you can run it a few times. It doesn't hurt. If you need to run repair disk, you need to actually boot either from the recovery drive or from your recovery CD if you're using an old version, but do that. If you're having problems, the first thing to do is to boot from another CD or your recovery partition and repair your disk. I can't tell you how many problems come up just because a permissions file was wonky. But you should do that once a month or once a week. It takes like 5-10 minutes, easy squeezy. So yeah, Lion's out. Overall, I'm happy. I have a problem with QuickTime because you can't save. If you're like this video, used to be under Snow Leopard, when you would say record a video or open a video, you can then just save it as a QuickTime file. Now in Lion, you have to export it, which takes time. It literally exports, it converts the video file. I don't know why they got rid of the actual save option. It seems silly, and if you have a dual-core machine, it could be really slow. But anyway, so that's done. Apple mobile news. Anybody who tells you that they know what's going to happen with either the iPhone or the iPad doesn't really know. There are so many rumors going on. Will the iPad get an HD screen? I saw a report today that said that the iPad wouldn't, in which case I'm not sure what an updated iPad would have. Apple's next processor, the A6, their quad-core beast, isn't going to be ready until next year. They're just now starting to do some test manufacturing. So that's not a possibility for September or October when the next update was rumored. So I don't know what they're going to do with the iPad. The iPhone similarly is all over the place. They're saying they're going to have a new low-cost option. Traditionally, they've just kept around last year's model. So that would just mean keeping around an iPhone 4, the regular one. But there were some rumors about them entering the prepaid market with some kind of iPhone that would, it would be crazy value for money for prepaid customers. And then there's the whole iPhone 4S versus iPhone 5 rumor. The iPhone 4S would just be kind of pretty much the same model we have now, except with a faster processor and probably a better camera. And then there's the iPhone 5 rumor, which is better processor, better camera, redesigned case, and a larger screen. And nobody really knows what's going to happen. My advice to you, if you're in the market for an iPhone, an iPad, an iPod, is to wait until the next event. They generally have, it used to be their iPod event, but because they didn't introduce a new iPhone during summer, they're going to do it at their iPod event. And so chances are we could see a new iPhone, iPad, and all new iPods. And what you're missing out if you buy now is you're still going to have a great product, but if you wait, you'll get a lot more value for money. Sometimes on iPad or on iPods, they'll do price drops. And the chances are is that the same iPhone 4 that you'd buy now, some places are currently selling them cheaper. But from Apple, from $199, that could be $99 or $50 in a month and a half. So if you can wait. Bunch of new stuff. Also, the iPhone is expected to go to all 4 carriers. They could really easily make one GSM model and one CDMA model. I still don't think they're going to jump on the LTE bandwagon, namely because LTE handsets still suck a lot of power. And so I think it would be a mistake. I don't know how they'd engineer enough battery into a small iPhone to go to dual core, which does take more power, especially if you're doing intensive tasks, and an LTE chip, which is its separate module that sucks power. I think they'd have battery issues. But they're supposed to be on all 4 carriers, so if you're on Sprint and you've been wanting an iPhone, it's not going to be 4G. But I would wait. I'd wait is what I would say. But anyways, that's kind of the Apple rundown. We still haven't had a new iLife or iWork. I guess iLife was updated, but they didn't update iWeb, which pissed me off. But they haven't updated iWork. So you never know. There could be new software in the next couple months. In Android, we saw the release of some purported screenshots of Ice Cream Sandwich, which is their next operating system, when they wanted to get their version of Android for tablets out. And so what they did was they kind of, the Apple approach would have been do a cohesive branch off of what Android has. That way it's easy for developers and users who are buying apps to work on both. And they didn't do that. They kind of hacked Android onto tablet, tablet screen sizes, and they had some issues, namely with processors. You could only use a Tegra 2 processor, namely, and then screen sizes. All of the Android Honeycomb tablets have been 10 inches. We're starting to see some 7-inch tablet sizes, but what Ice Cream Sandwich is supposed to do is supposed to kind of unify the phone and the tablet. And so if you're a developer, it should make developing a whole lot easier. If you're a consumer, it should make app compatibility so much better. And they're kind of going to add some elements from Honeycomb to the phone, like the persistent search bar at the top of the screen. It sits below the notification bar, but above any other icons. And so that's going to be there. Possibly a redesigned launcher at the bottom. So that looks pretty cool. They're supposed to be rushing this out before or kind of right with or right after the iPhone, iPad update. So it'll be interesting to see. Of course, those of you with like Samsung products, you'll be waiting until like 2013 for the gingerbread update, let alone for ice cream sandwich. If you've got a lovely Nexus device, or if you've rooted your phone and you've put on CyanogenMod or any other custom ROM, your wait will be much shorter. But they're going to have a new beast of a phone, the Optimus Prime, or no, the Nexus Prime. Optimus Prime is actually the Transformer, but Nexus Prime is the code name for the next Nexus handset. I think Samsung is supposed to be manufacturing it. It's going to have like quad cores and maybe an HD screen. Basically, it's going to rock your socks off. But that's what's coming up in tech news. Hope you guys enjoyed.